All right, folks, it is here. Snow is moving in. This is video from the National Weather Service of snow falling from overnight in Spokane. It is here, ready or not. They are asking everyone to drive carefully and plan for extra time for their commute, and Nicole is just thrilled.
I'm so excited.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Nicole Hernandez.
Yeah, we have a lot to get to because anytime severe weather hits our area, we want to get you weather aware and prepared. So this morning, we do have full team coverage of the snow blowing into our area. Our Brandon T. Jones is out in the KREM 2 storm tracker checking in on road conditions throughout our region.
But we first do want to get over to our meteorologist, Thomas Patrick, because Thomas has been tracking the snow all morning long. Is it sticking around all day, Thomas? We want to know.
You know, it's going to be on and off, Nicole, because already we've picked up about a ½ inch to 1 inch of snow. I actually do have my KREM 2 ruler that's ready to measure what we got from our outdoor weather center because the first batch of snow is already starting to quiet down in Spokane. We are far from through, though. We're just going to get a couple hours of a break from that snowfall through at least a couple hours this morning. Still lightly snowing over Coeur d'Alene, and as I stop the loop, you can see that a lot of areas in North Idaho from Newport, Old Town, Sandpoint, Priest Lake, all getting still that first morning batch of snow. And this is the lightest of our batches of snow as well because the second wave will hit before the noon hour. And once we get into the afternoon, this should easily be another inch or so of snow. The third batch hits Saturday morning, and each round is a little bit heavier than the last. So that's why we're expecting at least a couple inches of snow by the time we get to the midday hours Saturday.
Well, like we mentioned, our Brandon T. Jones is out live in the mobile storm tracker this morning, taking a look at weather conditions. So Brandon, let us know how roads have been for you guys.
Yeah, good morning. Actually, right now we're on Division heading north Spokane, and we've been seeing a lot of these roads where people do have some issues sometimes on those turns. Let me go ahead and turn it around myself so you can see what we're looking at right now. And again, this is on Division. We're heading towards north Spokane, seeing a lot of those snow plows making their way around, hitting some of those parking lots, some of those areas that are high traffic areas, just trying to keep things. Oh, here, let's look to the right. We go this. You see some of those snow plows right there, getting those parking lots cleared out so people have a little bit smoother conditions. And another thing that we were talking about this morning is that this isn't necessarily the first snowfall of the season, but it is that first one where it really is just sticking on the ground. And because of that can catch a lot of people by surprise. A lot of people still may not have their snow tires on or their all-season tires ready for the year. So just be safe when you're out there on the roads. You see how we just came to a little bit of a stop? We started to stop a little bit earlier, and then actually sometimes it looks like that car right in front of this plow we're right behind, it looked like they had a little bit of trouble as they were getting off, so that happens. The conditions are a little bit slippery, so just keep that in mind. And typically during a snowfall like this, that real official first one of the year, we see there are a little bit more accidents, and you just want to keep that in mind because you want to, go as slow as possible. Not as slow as possible, but just be safe, Use safe driving skills, especially on those turns, because we've seen several cars already spin out, whether it's like a turn like we're coming up to right now. People have spun out a little bit, so just want to keep those thoughts in mind right now, and we're just going to continue to drive around ourselves and check out those conditions. Again, if you have any conditions or any areas that you want us to check out in particular, please just go ahead and send that in to us. Let us know where we should go check out. But again, we're heading to North Spokane. Roads have been fairly solid for the most part. No major problems. We've seen a couple of cars that have just been pulled off to the side, but that was only one actually, and then a Spokane police cruiser came up and tried to assist them as well. But like I said, we're just going to continue using the rest of the morning driving around, checking out those conditions so we can keep you updated and keep you posted as you get out there for your morning commute. But for now, reporting live in the storm tracker, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
So you can find all of our info about weather on the KREM 2 app.
Nicole, get it together. Okay, you guys, we had a really funny joke because I didn't know what full stop means. Okay, so now we're just being transparent with you, but we want to let you know that you can get your weather app, the KREM 2 weather app, and get your severe weather alerts right to your smartphone.
So last night, the Medical Lake community gathered for a candlelight vigil to remember the 11-year-old girl who was shot and killed over the weekend.
KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk was at that vigil and spoke to the community and the members there who knew the victim.
Friends and classmates of 11-year-old Lily Stallworthy stood in the bitter cold at Wilcox Park, not far from where the Medical Lake middle schooler lost her life.
These kids are too young to be experiencing this type of heartbreak.
Candles burned through the snowflakes as people shared memories of Lily.
They were always making TikToks and Snapchats. Summertime, they were always in the water.
By all accounts, she was a typical young girl.
She's my daughter's best friend. Lily was like any typical...
Sassy.
Yes, she was very sassy.
Natasha Hargrave and her 2 kids helped organize the vigil. She says her younger daughter, Ariana, was always by Lily's side.
My daughter was with her the day before this happened. We printed out 107 pictures for her, and she has them posted all over her room.
Deputies say Lily was shot by her 31-year-old brother outside the family home Sunday. He later turned the gun on himself and isn't expected to survive.
She cared for all of us so much. She would never want this to happen, and she would never want us to feel this way. So many people loved her.
That was clear tonight, especially when they ran out of candles.
She was loved. You know, I told my husband too, I said, we need to buy more candles.
Lily was the youngest of 4 adopted girls. Neighbors say her parents have always put others before themselves.
They have been our neighbors for 20 years and very, very good neighbors and very good people. They opened their home to people who needed one, and I just think that world needs these good people, and these incidents should not stop people from doing good.
Lily's parents were at the vigil. Her mom said seeing all these faces tonight brought her joy, and knowing that whenever Lily was away from home, she was surrounded by people who loved and cared for her and kept her safe.
She didn't think that so many people cared about her, but so many people do.
In Medical Lake, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
All right, the time now is 6:08. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. Lori Vallow has been extradited to Arizona. She's the Eastern Idaho mom convicted of killing her 2 kids and conspiring to kill her husband's first wife. Vallow is facing 2 conspiracy to commit murder charges in Arizona, one for conspiring to kill her niece's ex-husband and the other for conspiring to kill her 4th husband. Her next court date in Arizona is scheduled for December 7th. New in the last 24 hours, a federal judge just ruled that Montana cannot enforce a law banning the social media app TikTok. The legal challenge to the proposed law has been moving through the courts since May. A U.S. district judge said the ban oversteps state power and infringes on the constitutional right of users and businesses. The ban was scheduled to take effect on January 1st. Brand new this morning, the U.S. Navy is working on plans to recover a plane that went down in the waters off of Hawaii. It belongs to a squadron based in Whidbey Island in western Washington. This new video you see here shows the aircraft sitting in a mixture of coral and sand. All 9 people aboard survived after the plane overshot the runway last week and crashed into the water. The incident is still under investigation. That is a look at your morning rush.
Well, Spokane holiday tradition needs volunteers. Santa Express is looking for people who want to be shopping elves. It's totally fun and all for a great cause. So Santa Express, if you don't know, is where kids get to go do Christmas shopping, and all the money that they spend goes to Vanessa Behan. It's a safe shelter for kids in crisis situations. The Santa Express store is at the Spokane Valley Mall this year, and it's the perfect place for kids to come and shop for family and friends. As for the shopping elves, they are there to help the kids pick the perfect gifts and, of course, have fun.
Last night, one little boy bought both of his parents a car. So they really enjoy the magical part of just going back with an elf and seeing all of the stuff that they can buy.
So obviously super fun for the kids. I still remember doing this when I was a kid in school, but the organization, like we mentioned, needs volunteers. So you can sign up just as yourself or with a group of friends or people from work and take a shift as an elf. You can sign up at santaexpress.org. That website is at the bottom of your screen right now.
Well, we're tracking these snowy conditions on this first day of December, and we've got about an inch of snow already across Spokane. There's a live picture along I-90 near the Highway 2 exit on the way to the airport. Looks like the interstate conditions are doing okay, but you can still tell there's a little bit of slush, especially in between the lane markers. So you'll still want to give yourself a little extra caution on the roads, not just the major roadways, but definitely the side streets that have that near full inch of snow just cleanly on the ground. There's Coeur d'Alene that you see behind me. Again, fresh coating of snow as it has been cold all day, not just today, but all day yesterday. Even the flurries had no problem sticking to the ground right away on Thursday, and we are far from through. We'll catch a little bit of a break here, but notice all that precipitation over the west side that is crossing the Cascades. That's going to be arriving in about 2 to 3 hours here in Spokane. The second wave is likely going to be heavier than the first that we already experienced this morning.